deep in a high desert, where the wind carries secrets through the sagebrush and the sun paints the sky in gold and red, a story unfolded that no one saw coming. A wild horse, strong, proud, with a coat as dark as midnight and a white mark on his forehead like a tiny star, was brought to a training center after being caught in the wild. His name was Thunder, and from the very first day he made one thing clear. He wasn't going to be broken. The man in charge of taming him was a seasoned trainer named Ben Carter. For over 20 years, Ben had worked with wild horses that kicked, bit, and ran. He had a reputation for patience, for understanding, for letting the horse set the pace. But Thunder was different. 6 months passed. 6 months of quiet steps, soft words, and gentle movements. And still, Thunder kept his distance. He watched Ben with sharp, intelligent eyes, always alert, always ready to move away. "Something in him has decided," said Mia, the center's veterinarian, "that humans can be trusted." Ben nodded slowly. "I know, but we're running out of time. You see, a review board was coming. If Thunder wasn't showing progress soon, he'd be sent far away, to a holding pen, maybe forever. No more open land. No more freedom. Just fences and loneliness." One hot afternoon, under a blazing sun, Ben entered the training pen. A small crowd gathered at the fence, staff, visitors, and a young photographer named Lila, who had been quietly documenting life at the center. For nearly an hour, Ben moved slowly around the pen, using the same gentle rhythm he always did. Step closer, wait, step back, reward the smallest sign of trust. And then something changed. Thunder stretched his neck forward. His ears flicked forward. His dark muzzle reached toward Ben's hand. Gasps rose from the fence. This was it, the first real sign of trust. Ben's heart pounded. "That's it, boy, good boy," just as his fingers were about to touch the soft nose. Bang! A truck backfired outside the pen. Thunder reared in panic, hooves slashed in the air. One caught Ben in the shoulder, knocking him into the dust. Pain shot through him. And then something worse. Shame, humiliation, frustration. 6 months of effort gone in a second, before he could stop himself. Ben lashed out. Slap! His hand struck Thunder across the face. Silence fell over the entire yard. Lila's camera clicked, capturing the moment. Ben's face twisted in anger. Thunder's eyes wide with shock. Everyone froze. Mia stepped forward, ready to intervene. But then, Thunder didn't run. He didn't charge. He didn't kick. Instead, he took one slow step backward, then lowered his head, almost to the ground, a gesture of surrender. And then, something no one had ever seen before. He stepped forward, slowly, gently. He nudged Ben's chest, right over his heart. Not in anger, not in fear, but in peace. Ben stood still, his breath caught, his anger melted, replaced by something deeper, something raw. Tears welled in his eyes. I'm sorry," he whispered, voice breaking. He slowly raised his hand, palm up, not to hit, not to take, but to offer. Thunder looked at it, waited, then placed his muzzle into Ben's hand, not because he had to, but because he wanted to. The crowd didn't cheer. They didn't speak. They just watched, in silence, in awe, because what they had just seen wasn't training. It was forgiveness, and it changed everything. The next morning, Thunder wasn't the same horse. His body was relaxed. His head held high, not in defiance, but in calm. When Ben arrived, Thunder came straight to the fence, ears forward, eyes soft. Mia shook her head. "It's like, yesterday didn't break your bond. It built it." Ben didn't have an answer, but he felt it. When he entered the pen, Thunder walked right up to him, lowered his head, invited him in. No rope, no halter, no force, just trust. And when Ben stepped back at the end of the session, Thunder followed, stood close, rested his head against Ben's back, a gesture of connection, of love. The review board came the next day. Ben didn't hide what happened. He told them everything, his mistake, his shame, the slap. I failed him, Ben said, voice steady. But he didn't fail me. The board was quiet. Then the lead expert, Dr. Helen Reed, leaned forward. What Thunder did, it wasn't obedience. It was empathy. He sensed your regret and chose to respond with kindness. The decision came quickly. Thunder wouldn't be adopted out. Instead, he would stay as a teacher. And Ben, despite his mistake, would continue to work with him. Within weeks, the story spread. Lila's photos went around the world. The forgiving horse. People who had never touched a horse were moved to tears. Veterans struggling with guilt. Parents who had lost trust with their children. Survivors of betrayal. They saw in Thunder not just a horse, but a mirror. A reminder that healing is possible. That connection can grow even after pain. 3 months later, the center was transformed. Visitors came from everywhere. Researchers studied the bond between Ben and Thunder. Heart rates were measured, synced almost perfectly when they were together. Other horses began responding differently, too. Trainers across the country started using a new method, based on trust, not control. And Thunder? He became a symbol, not of being tamed, but of teaching. 1 year after that fateful day, Ben stood in the same pen, now part of a larger education center. Thunder stood beside him. No rope, no halter, just free. 9 other horses stood with their partners. Proof that this new way of connecting was working. This isn't about dominance, Ben told the crowd. It's about listening, about being honest, about having the courage to say, I was wrong. After the ceremony, Ben took Thunder to a hilltop. The wind blew. The mountains stretched far into the distance, the same wild lands where Thunder once ran free. Ben knelt and gently removed the halter. If you want to go back, he said softly, I won't stop you. Thunder looked toward the horizon. The scent of open land filled the air. Ben waited, heart pounding. Then Thunder turned, stepped close, pressed his forehead gently against Ben's shoulder, the equine sign of trust, of family, of home. And together they walked back side by side, not master and animal, but friends, partners, hearts healed by the courage to forgive. The deepest lessons aren't taught by perfection, but by the courage to make amends and the grace to forgive. If this story moved you, if it reminded you that second chances matter, then please share it. Like, subscribe, pass it on, because the world needs more Thunder, more forgiveness, more love that chooses connection over fear.